Hello everybody, my name is Nerdy Lover and welcome to another episode of our football betting show here on YouTube, La Liga edition. In this episode we're going to be looking forward to the weekend 8th and 9th of October. But before we do so, let's quickly recap our two selections from last week. We did have Villarreal and Barcelona in a double. Unfortunately, Villarreal could not convert their chances against Cadiz, drawing 0-0. Barcelona didn't let us down though, but the bet was already done by that point. We did take a £20 hit there. We did have Celta Vigo and Real Betis, over 2.5 goals. Now that game did finish 1-0, but after Celta Vigo scored early on and Betis got a man sent off, I did decide to cover this one, so I'll put a screenshot up now. So that bet did not win or lose anything. That does mean across the two bets we are down £20, and we do have a 0% win rate through the first two fixtures. We've got a few selections for this weekend, so let's just jump straight into it. Kicking things off with the first of our three featured matches, we have 18th place Almeria playing host to 10th place Rayo Vallecano. And Almeria were dispatched with relative ease and comfort by Bilbao last week by a margin of 4-0. This does mean when we look at Almeria's form, they have lost each of the last 4 games without scoring a single goal in reply. Almeria do only score 0.6 goals per game from one key chance per game. No clean sheets to this point in the season, as they do concede an average of 1.6 goals per game. Unsustainable numbers, and you can see why they're down in 18th place. Vallecano, on the other hand, stops the rot against Elche last week with a 95th minute winner. They had lost 3 of the last 4 La Liga matches before this. However, Vallecano have picked up 4 of their 7 points on their travels this year, and this was against Barcelona and Espanyol. Vallecano have a slight statistical edge on Almeria, outscoring them with 1.3 goals per game, outcreating them with 1.3 goals per game, and this is despite conceding 1.2 goals per game. They have managed to keep 2 clean sheets from 7 matches so far, and again, these were in the away matches against Barcelona and Espanyol. I don't really have any problems backing Vallecano here, but let's just be a bit conservative and lay Almeria for our first bet of today's episode. Our second bet today sees Real Valladolid in 15th, hosting 4th place Real Betis. Valladolid picked up a good win in a 3-2 comeback against Getafe. Betis, on the other hand, will be licking their wounds following a 1-0 loss to Celta Vigo. This loss was not ideal, but when you consider they were down to 10 men for the best part of 70 minutes, actually losing by a single goal against a decent Celta side isn't too bad. In fact, Betis managed to hold their own, sharing both possession and shots on goal in equal measure with the 11 men they faced. This loss did put an end to 4 straight wins for Real Betis in all competitions. Looking across at Valladolid's key statistics here, they do score 0.7 goals per game, and that is despite creating 2 clear-cut chances per 90. Poor finishing is the answer to that question. And it's not going to be surprising to anyone to hear that they have only netted 6 times this year, 3 of which came in the last game. Betis, on the other hand, are creating at a similar rate of 2 chances per game, but they are scoring 1.5 goals per game. They're much more clinical up top, and Borja Iglesias, as well as others, are... When we look at the head-to-head, Valladolid came up from the Segunda last year, so these two sides have not faced each other in a league match since the season before last. They did square off last year in the Spanish Cup, though, with Betis running out 3-0 winners. I think we're getting some good value here on Betis, and I'm going to be taking them for a £20 single. But also, I think if we lay Valladolid and roll this up in a double with the Almeria match, we can get even more value. Normally, I'm hesitant about including one team in too many bets, because obviously if that team fails to do what you want them to do, you do sort of tumble down. But I do feel good about Betis this year, and the numbers do give me confidence with this selection. So Betis to beat Valladolid away from home in a single, and then we're going to be laying Valladolid, adding that to our laying Almeria leg from the first bet for a double. Our third feature match for today's episode, and our final match in today's episode, sees, well, 2 sides near the relegation zone. 19th place Cadiz hosting 16th place Espanyol, and whilst Cadiz did not increase their poor goal-scoring tally last week, they did hold Villarreal to a 0-0 draw. After a terrible start, Cadiz are now unbeaten in their last 2 games. When we look at the away sides, Espanyol did draw last week, but they did concede a 92nd minute equaliser against Valencia. Espanyol will regret missing their chances as they fail once again to take 3 points from a match. This does mean that Espanyol have only picked up a single win in their last 7 games. Looking at the statistics, Cadiz have only scored 0.2 goals per game. This would be in line with their chance creation of 0.3 chances per 90. It's just that it's a shame that it's so low. They're also conceding at a clip of 2.1 goals per game, which is definite relegation form, so there's no question as to why they are 19th in the table. The away side, Espanyol, have made a slightly brighter start to the season, averaging 1.3 goals from an average of 2 chances created per 90. The only issue is they are conceding at a clip of 2 goals per game with only a single clean sheet to this point in the season. When we look at the head-to-head record, Espanyol got the better of Cadiz last year, winning 2-0 at home before drawing 2-2 in this fixture last year. In the 2 games, Espanyol enjoyed a 53% possession rate, outshooting Cadiz by 14 shots on goal to 11. They did also outcreate Cadiz, producing 6 clear goal-scoring chances to Cadiz's 2. At the end of the day, these sides were only separated by 3 points last year, as they both narrowly avoided the trapdoor. I'm leaning towards Espanyol for a half stake here to pick up the win in our final bet. So we have 3 selections for this weekend. Kicking things off on the Saturday, we're going to be laying Almeria and laying Valladolid in a double. Odds of 0.87, so our £20 stake should return 17.40. We're going to double down on Betis by taking them in a single for £20 at odds of about 1.4, £28 return projected there. And then finally, Cadiz Espanyol. We do like Espanyol a little bit more than Cadiz, but only enough for a half stake. £10 to return 18.20. So across the 3 bets, we're going to be risking £50 sterling in order to hopefully pick up 64.40. Will we do that? Well, there's only one way to find out, and that's to tune into next episode. Please drop a like down below. My name's been Nerdy Lover, and as always, have yourself a lovely day.